Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to the first live stream on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel in quite some time. Just before we get into this evening's stream, please make sure that you are smashing the like button. As always, it really does help get it out there to more people. Share it with your friends, your family members, your neighbours, your work colleagues, whoever. Let's get more eyes on the channel as we are back providing consistent content, hopefully. Now that things seem to have settled down in the background, let's just say, please make sure that you continue to get your comments in and hit that notification bell so that you're obviously aware of when I'm uploading and going live. And we are here for the last say on yesterday's complete dominant performance over Wayne Rooney's Plymouth Argyle, 3-0 win at home. Obviously, I was there. It was a very good atmosphere, to be fair, and we'll be discussing that in due course. Like I said, continue to get your comments in. There's a few of you in the building already. Jay's here. Evening, Jay. How we doing, mate? Mike saying, well, I can drive around Plymouth with my Leeds badging car proudly knowing Rooney will soon be sacked. Yeah, exactly. We'll be discussing Wayne Rooney shortly. Joe was saying nothing happened here. Sorry. Jay saying, cracking win yesterday. Great first half, and I wish we pushed on in the second half for a couple more goals. Just for the goal difference, but no complaints. 100% dominant. And yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, Jay, to be honest with you. Obviously, we'll get into the game. Like I say, continue to get your comments in. I can see there's 8 of you in the building. Share it with whoever you can and get more eyes on the channel if possible. That would be very much appreciated. So let's discuss the lineup first of all. I think it was as expected. Obviously, Jayden Bogle suspended for this one. And Sam Byram came into the team. Now, I was a bit... didn't really know how to feel about it. And, I don't know what Isaac Schmidt has got to do to get a go in this team. I get that he was brought in to kind of be a backup fullback, and I have no problem with that. But I think, if there's suspensions and injuries in that area, then he should be getting deployed. Sam Byram, look, again, a great servant at Leeds as a youngster. Obviously, he's back at the club now. I think Farker trusts Byram more. Obviously, he's more experienced, which I do understand. And to be fair to Byram, he had a good game yesterday, I thought. I did feel against Bristol City, he didn't have, or he couldn't have the same sort of level of impact because he was playing left back, and obviously he kept having to cut inside onto his right foot, which was frustrating at times when there were opportunities for him to whip a ball in on his left, but obviously isn't a left-footed player. But I think yesterday, obviously, he was on his preferred side, on his preferred foot, and I did feel like he could have more of an impact. Him and Dan James worked very well together down that right-hand side, and we will be discussing Dan James shortly. Like I said, the lineup was expected. Dan James was a doubt for the game, or Farker said he was anyway, but he obviously came in to start alongside Aronson, Nonto and Perot in the forward areas. It completely baffles me that there is even a discussion to be had about who should be starting up front at the minute between Perot and Joseph. The facts and the numbers speak for themselves. Strikers are judged on scoring goals. Joe Perot is scoring goals, and I thought even apart from his goal, his all-round play I thought was very good yesterday. I thought he linked up the play quite well. His passing was good. It was in the right areas, and a good composed finish for his goal as well. But we'll come on to the goals now. Actually, let's just discuss that first half, because as a 45 minutes of football, I don't think I've seen a better half from us this season, if I'm being totally honest with you. I thought the Watford game was dominant in the first half, but that yesterday, I mean, like I said, did Plymouth even get off the bus yesterday? I mean, there was a lot of talk on Twitter that Rooney maybe kind of threw the game yesterday because he didn't play his star player in Morgan Whittaker, which baffled me completely. Because even if you're wanting to come to Ellen Road and maybe get a point, It's not that how he went about it for me was wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad he went about it in the way that he did. But from their point of view, I just don't understand it at all. I didn't understand what Plymouth were trying to do. They were time wasting from 11 minutes in. I first recall them time wasting. I think it took them about 10-15 minutes to even have a touch of the ball. Leeds United completely and utterly dominant in that first half. I checked FootMob after the game, and in that first half, Leeds had 81% possession in the first half. I mean, there's not really a lot more we can say, is there? I mean, it is funny. We got to the half-hour mark, and I turned round to the lads that sit behind me and I said, how have we not scored yet? I mean, these are completely and utterly, I'll just say it, dog shit. And they were. I'm like, how have we not scored against these? Like, we've completely controlled it, completely dominated it, but we just haven't got a goal. And then Leeds United get a corner. It comes out to Willie Nonto, lays it on a plate for Dan James. And I'll be honest, it was kind of a weird moment because how he hit the ball didn't look like he was like meaning to shoot, if that makes sense. Kind of just floated in like slow motion. But what a finish from Dan James to make it 1-0. And for me, Dan James has to be one of the first names on the team sheet, in my opinion, alongside a certain Japanese international, but we'll be coming on to him shortly as well. But Dan James, I mean, he just adds something completely different to the attacking line, doesn't he? The pace, the way that he completely frightens the opposition left back. Last week against Bristol City, I didn't think he had quite the impact that he would have liked. First game back from injury, so I can kind of understand that to a degree. Did have that opportunity at Bristol where he could have scored, but maybe he just felt a little bit rusty in the final third. But yesterday, I thought he was. There was an argument that he could have been the man of the match. I thought he was completely brilliant yesterday. And then the second goal, again, the second and third goal, both quite scrappy goals, but in a way it was quite nice to see Leeds score goals of that nature. Tanaka with like a half volleyed shot into the ground, which found its way to Joel Perreault, and he just gets ahead of the goalkeeper to slot it in to make it 2-0. And then the third goal, again, Perreault in the box, tries a back heel, and it lays beautifully on a plate for our American boy, Brendan Aronson, who slots in another goal to add to his very good start to the season. As Kevin has just alluded to there, Aronson has been very good. A few games where I don't think he's had quite the impact that I would have liked in recent games, but I feel like since Watford, the last few games, I think he has upped it a notch, which is good to see, and it's good to see him on the score sheet once again. But yeah, as I say, guys, that first half was completely brilliant. The best half of football I've seen from us this season, I really can't lie. Kevin's saying, oh my God, finally got Charlie on a live. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. Thank you very much. Evening chat. Easiest free. Yeah, completely agree. That and the Cardiff game away, I think, have been the easiest games we've had so far this season. I'd even argue the Sheffield United game, to be fair. With Schmidt, I think it's the same situation like we had with Gruev last season. Injuries and suspensions will happen, and his time will come to make him. Yeah, you are right there. Ilya Gruev didn't really make a mark on the team until about January, did he? Post New Year. So yeah, you could be right there. And as I was entering the ground yesterday afternoon, I actually walked past Ilya Gruev. He had a Leeds United jacket on. He had his hood up. He was trying to, maybe keep a low profile so that people didn't come up to him. He ended up being on LUTV, so he was probably on his way to the LUTV studio. But yeah, I walked past him. He was walking okay, I guess, but his injury is quite serious, isn't it? So yeah, but he looked well considering. Did old Ilya Gruev. Paul saying, evening, Charlie, hope you well. Love the Dan James goal, Peach. I think he's a real difference maker at this level. No, yeah, exactly. He is the difference maker at the minute, just his pace alone, and I think he's really improved his end product as well. always wanting to get the ball in the box to, hopefully provide assists, and he is scoring goals as well. I think it's only his second of the season, but, he has missed a few games, hasn't he? So hopefully he can add a few more to his tally. JC saying Plymouth came knowing they will lose the game, and it was more of a just... Yeah, probably. It did seem like that, didn't it, Jay? I mean, they had an overall XG in the game of 0.00. No shots. Obviously, no shots on target. I think we had 78 possession in terms of the whole game. It's just arguably one of the worst teams I've ever seen at Ellen Road. Fair play to the amount of Plymouth fans that made the long trip up, because that must have been a long journey home after seeing that. To be fair, Joe, I don't think Schmidt is used to a championship yet. It will take time, and Jay said he agrees with that. And yeah, look, maybe Schmidt's time will come. But, I've seen the hashtag on Twitter saying, hashtag free Schmidt. And I do feel a little bit like that, to be fair. It could have been used last week when Firpo was suspended, and it could have quite easily been used yesterday. Yesterday would have been the perfect game for Schmidt to come in and, adapt to the championship. But, that's why we're not the manager of Leeds United, and Mr. Daniel Farker is. So I just want to touch upon the Rooney chants yesterday, just briefly. Pure comedy in that South stand yesterday. It was brilliant. I won't repeat some of the chants on here, as I want to keep the monetization if possible. But I think everyone can kind of imagine what the chants would be. Chants about Man United. There was the Jermaine Beckford chant, about the goal at Old Trafford, and obviously he was asked post-match about the chants aimed at him, and he kind of made a sly, kind of clever comment, didn't he, saying, I didn't quite hear them, they could have sung a bit louder. And I'm like, come on, mate, you definitely heard us. Let's be real here. And I could only imagine what it must feel like to be stood on the touchline and hear that level of abuse being aimed at you. It was the same when we played Sheffield United with Chris Wilder. Complete and utterly, same scenario, and it was brilliant. Pure comedy and pure banter in Ellen Road yesterday, which is always good to see. Jay's saying, think they only managed 80 passes in the first half. Yep, you are right. And just a shame he couldn't hear them. Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on, mate. Like, read the room. You definitely knew. And just to put it into context, let's have a look at the overall stats of the game. Expected goals, Leeds 1.86 to their 0. Total shots 23 to Leeds, 0 to Plymouth, and 7 shots on target for Leeds, 0 for Plymouth. And yeah, look, it's the stats. If you're a Plymouth fan, I mean, big chances, Leeds 2, they're 0. Accurate passes, 637 to Leeds, 122 to Plymouth. No yellow cards in the game, which I thought was quite odd, given that they, were time wasting quite a lot. There was a few fouls. I remember there was one on Solomon from Andre Gray in the second half. He should have definitely been booked for that, but it wasn't. But, again, it is what it is. Plymouth completed 202 passes in the whole game. Leeds completed 718. So, yeah, look, touches in the opposition box, we had 20, they had 5. Don't remember when they were. And that's on FootMob. So, look, if that doesn't scream out pure dominance, then I don't know what will. The second half, then, I'll be honest, at half-time, I did genuinely think we would go out and go for the jugular in the second half and, really stick it on them, get 4, 5, maybe even 6, just to really put them to the sword. And I know, there was the dreaded thought in my head of, they came back from 3-0 down last week against Preston, didn't they, to get a 3-3 draw. I did bring that up and someone told me to shut up in the South Stand, but, it was just a thought that went through my mind. But I'll be honest, the second half, yeah, there was a considerable drop-off, but did we really need to try in that second half? I think there were a few opportunities where we did kind of go for it a little bit and, maybe try and at least get a 4th. But like I say, we've got Millwall on Wednesday night, followed by, QPR at home. So, there's few games in quick succession now before the international break. So Farker was probably thinking, let's try and keep everyone fit. He made subs 5 minutes earlier than usual in the 65th minute. But yeah, like I say, guys, we just completely controlled the whole game. And I just want to touch upon the midfield, actually, just while I've got it on my mind. Because obviously since my holiday and since I've been home, obviously I've had a little bit of a break from things for reasons that I won't get into on here. But yeah, the Ayo Tanaka and Joe Rothwell partnership, we all thought the world had ended when Ethan Ampadu and Ilya Gruev got injured, long-term injuries in quick succession, myself included. I remember hearing the news on holiday, and I wasn't a happy bunny, and I was really nervous to see Tanaka and Rothwell play together. I can't lie, because they're both quite attack-minded midfielders, but boy, were we wrong. They have slotted into those roles like a duck to water. Just pure brilliance. Just brilliant. Just really, really good to watch. And I actually think we play a lot better without Ampadu and Gruev in the team at the minute. I really do. My only worry is that when Ampadu is fit, rightly or wrongly, whether he deserves to come back in at the minute or not, given the form of Tanaka and Rothwell, he will come back in when he's fit. But the luxury that we've got is that if Tanaka and Rothwell both stay fit, we don't have to rush Ampadu back, and we can actually wait for him to be 110 million% before we even consider putting him back in, which is the good thing. But when that situation occurs, who comes out at the minute? Because it is a very, very tough call. Is that very tough? Ampadu's captain, so when he's fit, he will come back in. Like I say, rightly or wrongly, Farker will put him back in when he's 100% because he's the captain. But who do you bring out? I mean, if I had to pick one to stay in the team, it would be Tanaka at the minute. But then again, Joe Rothwell, the passes, the way they switch the play, the accuracy of their passes, Tanaka's cool, calm nature on the ball, the drop of the shoulder, how he receives the ball on the half turn. Same with Joe Rothwell when he makes his bursts up the pitch. He links really well with Nonto and Firpo on that left-hand side. Like I say, Tanaka spraying balls across the pitch, accurately as well. Cool, calm under pressure, can defend as well. Some really good tackles in our box. I'm in awe of Tanaka just watching him play. Definitely on current form, one of my favourite players to watch at this moment in time is Ayo Tanaka. What a brilliant player we've got there. You going to the Millwall game, Charlie? No, I'm not. Obviously, it's away. It's midweek. I'll be working Wednesday and Thursday, so no, I won't be there, mate, unfortunately. But I will be watching on the digital radio. Graham Stoner, do you think Nonto can get any better, or do you think he is limit already and won't get any better? Yeah, Nonto's a weird one. I think he's been quiet recently. I thought he had another quiet game yesterday. Just wasn't quite working for him. Whether it be his touch, his passing, his shooting as well. I thought his general play was good. He looked busy. His link-up play was quite good with Firpo on the left-hand side. But I want to be seeing more from Nonto. He's meant to be. People are saying he's our best player, and to be fair, on his day, he probably is. But we just need to be seeing a little bit more output from him, which would be my challenge for him over the next few games. We need to be seeing more from Nonto. You live near the Millwall ground, so are you going to it, Kev? Will you be in attendance? Jason's saying, I guess my only gripe was that we didn't go and get a fourth or fifth goal, but we moved ahead to Millwall midweek and then QPR at the weekend. Obviously, Millwall beat Burnley today, which is good for us. Keeps us in the top two, only by a point. Obviously, Sheffield United are in third, but if we win on Wednesday and Sunderland If Sunderland lose, then we'll go top. Obviously, they are now without Joe Bellingham for the next 3 games as he got sent off yesterday, which could work in our favour. The balance was good between Ruffalo and Tanaka. It's been good since they've formed the partnership, hasn't it, Jay, to be honest? I would love to see an Ampadu and Tanaka midfield. I think that could really cook with Pascal and Rodon behind them. And then, yeah, I think that would be the partnership when Ampadu's fit. No disrespect to Joe Rothwell, and I'm not saying he hasn't done good because he really, really has. But yeah, I think that'll be the midfield when Ampadu's 100% fit. Missing his partner Ramazani, yeah. I am with my Millwall mates. Oh God, fair play to you. Good luck with that, mate. Good luck with that. Just say make sure you like and subscribe. Yeah, there's 9 of you in the building as we are currently speaking, guys. Make sure you're smashing that like button. It does help get it out there to more people. And please subscribe. Get your comments in if you're watching after the live has ended as well. And yeah, so let's just speak about the 3 debuts as well. Joshua Gilavogi came on and made his first appearance for the club. And what a brilliant cameo from the guy as well. Accurate passing, really had a presence of like a Yaya Toure sort of figure in that midfield. I thought it was really good. Did look a bit leggy towards the end, but again, he's a free agent for a reason. He's not had much football recently, so I can't really blame him for that. Once he's more up to speed and everything, I'm sure he'll be a good asset to come off the bench for us. He even said post-match, he knows his role. He knows that he's not going to be playing every minute, but just his experience and if there's an injury or suspension, or if players just need to have a rest and come off early like he did yesterday with Rothwell, bring Joshua Gilavogi on to see the game out. And I thought he did that really well. Good, accurate passing. Just looked good on the ball as well. Always wanted the ball. And nearly scored at the end with that header, which would have been brilliant. I'd have loved that if he'd have been able to get on the score sheet. And obviously, first senior appearances of their careers for Sam Chambers and Charlie Crew. So, big congratulations to them. I thought Sam Chambers actually looked really good when he came on. Looked bright. Charlie Crew nearly scored with a very good effort as well. I was just tipped over the bar from their goalkeeper. So, yeah, all in all, it was a good afternoon, wasn't it? Completely and utterly dominant performance from Leeds. 3 good goals. Good midfield performance. Once again, we looked good going forward. And 3 debutants, and all in all, a good Saturday, a good day at the office for the Whites. And just saying, it was great to see Chambers and Crew get a run out. Yeah, absolutely, mate. So let's have a brief look ahead to Millwall on Wednesday. Obviously, Millwall, as I said briefly just a few minutes ago, beat Burnley today 1-0. They're currently, let's have a look at the league table as it stands. Millwall are 7th going into this game. They've won 5, drawn 4, and lost 4 on 19 points. So yeah, look. I'm just looking at the table as well. Leeds are the only team in division to have only lost 1 game. So we've lost the least amount of games, which is good. I don't care where Millwall are in the league. It's a game that Leeds United should be going there and winning. However, a point away at the Den, is it going to be the end of the world? Unless it's a horrific performance. Win yesterday. If most we get is a point on Wednesday and then we go and beat QPR. That's not a bad return at all. But for me, to really put pressure on Sunderland, and to make a statement to the teams around us, it needs to be 6 points out of 6 this week now. We need to be beating Millwall and QPR. I mean, QPR are in the bottom 3 for a reason, just like Plymouth are. We made easy work of Plymouth at home. Let's hope that we do the same next Saturday against QPR. But like I say, Millwall on Wednesday. Like I say, I'll do my match preview over the next few days, guys. So make sure that you keep an eye out for that. Like I say, I'll try and get an upload out tomorrow as well. At some point. And then obviously Tuesday, I'll get my preview out, and you may be seeing a weekly podcast coming to the channel. Leave that with me. That's currently being thought about in my head. And I've got people in mind who I can get involved with that. So that's exciting. We'll hopefully get that going at some point as well. like I say, guys, I do apologise for the lack of content since I've been home from my holiday. Like I say, there was things going on. There was nothing bad going on. There was just things going on where I just had to have a think about what I wanted to do with the channel. But now, I'm fully back on board, and I am loving getting back into the routine with content. So, like I say, guys, please make sure that you are subscribing to the channel, and really, really does help me out, and it's very much appreciated. Please smash that like button if you've enjoyed the stream. Like it if you're watching after the stream has ended as well. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware of when more content is out. And like I say, continue to get your comments in. It's been wonderful being live with you all once again. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Great stream, pal. Have a good evening. Cheers, Jamie. Yeah, like I say, and enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Have a great week, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.